Andre.
Hey Mum, how's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So today we're going to be talking about the Spiritual Truths podcast and what people can get out of the Spiritual Truths podcast, what they can gain, the knowledge they can get, give them some insight, and sort of people I'm having on the podcast that they could go to and have a look at, and where I'm going from here. So yeah, just a bit of a recap really.
Okay, awesome. And so why did you decide to do the Spiritual Truths podcast?
I think I just really wanted to get some messages out to people and to give messages of hope and encouragement, to help with a purpose in their life because people feel lost these days. I also went to a reading in Melbourne and this lady said you should be doing this podcast. So it was confirming what I already knew myself. And I was always told there's going to be some sort of show I was going to be hosting. So this is what it is really. And I really enjoyed doing it. So I think it's giving a lot of trusted and buried information to people about mind, body and soul, to be honest, and about fulfilling their needs and where they can go to get help and their sources and things like that.
Okay, and so why the name Spiritual Truths?
Why the name Spiritual Truths? I had no idea what I was going to call this name, and so I'm very connected to spirit. My friend said to me, why don't you just get Spirit to give you the name? And so I was at I think it was a comedian show with my husband. And I just said, what should I call this show? And I had no idea. And it just came to me very strongly, Spiritual Truths. And I thought, that's it. I'm calling it Spiritual Truths. So I just trusted them. So that's why I called it Spiritual Truths. That's what Spirit told me to call it.
Seems very, what do you call it? Like... authentic.
Very authentic.
Yeah. For the topic.
For the topic,
Yeah.
yeah. Because usually that's something I ask people as well what their spiritual truth is, and it's varied and different. Yeah.
And so what are the listeners and viewers going to get out of watching Spiritual Truths?
I guess a variety of things. So it could be information about their body, so they may be interested in exercise. There's a Pilates ladies on there. It could be they want to have good nutrition. There's a nutritionist. There's a homeopath on there. So there's things that can be valuable for them to help them with their body. It's also very much particularly with emotions and that sort of thing. I've done a few people that can help with emotional situations, give them guidance where they can go to. If they've had someone they lost, I think we even had one on suicide, which is a difficult subject, but that people don't know what to do when someone's committed suicide. And what I've found mainly is to give spiritual information, and there's a variety of topics. There's been mediums such as myself, so you can either go to that medium, or they may give you, we can learn some more mediumship, that sort of thing. Or it just could resonate, could be something you're just interested in. And so you just like listening to that sort of thing or reading things about mediums. There's one from a lady about physical mediumship. You may have questions about past lives. There's one about past lives. Another subject I found really fascinating that I would love to learn more about and I love reading about is near-death experiences. So those sort of things are really fascinating subjects, and it gives you some knowledge and some insight, a variety. What I've found is that I've probably tending more to the spiritual side now because I've found that that's where my listeners get most of the value from. They really, either you love it or you don't. So you love the spiritual stuff. So I'm getting more spiritual people.
Mm-hmm. So you're doing Spiritual Truths is about getting information out there for people's mind, body and soul on a wide range of topics. But centered around spirituality. And you're looking to take it more in that direction?
Yes, I am, because I've found over time that it's become more evolved to become more spiritual, because I've noticed that people are really listening out because they really want to see the spiritual side of it more than anything. It's not that I'm not open up to other people that can do things with health and mind. I'm open to that as well. So I probably still will interview people like that, but particularly with spiritual aspects. So coming out, I think will be an astrology one. On astrology, there's also another one coming out about numerology, tarot card reader, raising the vibration. I'm going to be doing one on a colour therapist. Colour therapy is incredible. It's really helped me. So it's actually exploring all those different fields, and there's so many and so much knowledge that you can gain from other people and insights. So it's resources, really.
Fantastic.
And learning, because I find when I listen to podcasts, I want to get something I love listening to ones about personal development,
right.
self-discovery, and I love listening to spiritual podcasts as well.
Yeah, well, as a listener and viewer, you want to make sure that you get a return on your investment, and your investment being the time that you take to watch something. So it's nice to get something out of it.
Well, I have found for people that when I watch my own spiritual podcast that I've done, because I have to view it first, is that I always get something different out of it when I listen to it than watch it. Because when I'm watching it, I get distracted, and I'll look at something on the wall or the expression on my face. And when I listen to it, I gain more knowledge when I actually listen to it. But the really interesting thing is that I found is that you've been interviewing me about my psychic and mediumship, and I've learnt for myself. That's really, I never expected to learn for myself.
Yeah, you hear yourself through someone else's, as if you're
a third party.
Yeah, third party. Really interesting.
Yes, so it reassures a lot of things as well. So, yes, I would suggest that people watch or listen. You can just do it when you go into the gym. That's when I listen to podcasts. When I'm walking the beach, driving the car, like have your headphones in, or and doing your housework even. Like we're busy people. And I think because it's on YouTube and it's on Spotify, but people think they have to sit down and view it. But you don't have to. You get just as a lot of value out of just listening to it. But everybody's different.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just listen to it when you're doing something else. You don't have to sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what have you learnt from your podcast?
That was a really bad interview in the beginning. So sorry to those people interviewed in the beginning. My first one wasn't too bad, but there's one with Monique. She's a great medium, and I just realised that I need to listen more. So I found there's a real art to listening, and there's a real art to interviews as well. And so you would have seen as producer. So I think just learning to listen to people. And I've learned this, open my mind up and my own spiritual knowledge up. So not only do I learn from myself, I learn from other people, because on my podcast I said, I never knew that. For instance, I didn't realise with the tarot cards, I think it was the archetypes, and I didn't understand how much the numbers meant something and how valuable that is for me. So it was a great insight that I got.
So you've been operating in the spiritual realm and community for decades, and you're still learning as a result of these podcasts.
I definitely learn. I'm hoping other people learn, because you never stop learning, do you?
No, I always, my saying is every day is a school day.
Yeah, every day's a school day. That's good. Yeah. So hopefully that the listeners can get some value out of this. And also, you might not want to listen to all of them. There might be just certain topics like numerology, or you love astrology, or you love tarot, or you love spiritual healing, or you're interested in physical mediumship, all those things, or interested in becoming part of a spiritual community like that. I think Zane talked about the spiritual community in the church. Yeah, there's lots of very valuable, even about money. We've got one about finances and spirituality, which I thought was really interesting, because it's all about energy. Okay, so something to gain from all of them. Yeah,
absolutely. And so what's a spiritual truth?
It's very individual. So that's something else I've learned. It says, I suppose I talk about being brought up Catholic, and I was taught this is the 10 Commandments. It was what you got to believe. It's all doctrine. And I realise it's much bigger than that. And there's a spiritual truth. Everybody has a different view on this. Even my own son, Bernard, interviewed him in a philosophical way. He said there's a reason behind everything. So some people said that nature was their spiritual truth, the connection to nature. Someone else talked about karma being their spiritual truth. So it's different for everyone. And that's something I'm learning. It's like, wow, there's not one tunnel way of looking. If you can open your mind, there's a different way of looking at what a spiritual truth is.
We are all individuals, different. Right?
We are, sure are.
And so what's your spiritual truth?
My spiritual truth absolutely is this life after death. I realise that's what I live for, because I just know there's more than just this human experience. And I know there's a spirit world around us all the time, communicating us. And I know that also another spiritual truth, that life is a lesson. There's more than one. Our life is a lesson. And that I think about when I pass away, I try to live the best life I can now, because I know I'm going to have a life review one day, and I want to do the best that I can, and to come from a good place of love. So, but I know that I'm never alone, and I know that there's somewhere another place, and I 100% know that my spiritual truth is that the spirit worlds surround us, and they're there, and we never die. A physical body dies, but our spiritual body remains, and it will continue, and it will evolve. And it's absolutely my spiritual truth, and I value it.
Fantastic. I'm sure that's reassuring for a lot of people.
Thank you. Cool. So if you like this podcast, please like and subscribe, and go to my channel, Spiritual Truths, from my website, and subscribe, because you get notifications each time that one is released. Thank you for being part of our Spiritual Truth family. Blessings and love, Kerry-Marie.